It's time for
It's Fanboy Weekly for all you geeks, nerds, and blurs. Let's get our geek on.
Welcome back to the 5x5. It is Fanboy Weekly, and we are coming in a little early tonight because I'm tired. You know, guys, I had a very long weekend, started early Thursday with Captain America, the Winter Soldier. And it extended through, well, kind of today. Really wasn't too much nerdiness today, but I still haven't had, this is the first time really I've had the opportunity to sit down since Thursday evening. But thank you guys for joining me. Whenever, wherever, however you guys are listening to the show, I do appreciate it. But I've already did a podcast sort of today. My friend Dwayne Hadley from the Dwayne Hadley Radio Network, he a friend of the show, always supportive and very he gives me too many compliments, but hey, you got to take them and embrace them and use that to pay it forward and compliment others. And what they're doing. But anyhow, I did one earlier today. We were talking about, because WWE WrestleMania was on tonight. Oh, and you know what I need to start doing? I re-listened to a podcast. I don't know, was it yesterday or the day before? And I sound like I couldn't breathe because I was going, I was like, did I need some oxygen? Because it was absolutely hilarious. I don't know why that happened. It was, I've heard it before, and I'm like, maybe I have my mic too close to my face, so I'm gonna try some different things, or maybe not to. See there, I think now I'm really I'm conscious about it because I don't want you guys thinking that I'm sucking all the air out of the room every time I speak. I don't need oxygen. Maybe I need to. I have one of those oxymizers where you can check how much oxygen is in your blood. So maybe I need to put that on. Maybe I need. It's probably because I was tired, and then I get to talking really fast. So I'm gonna regroup because thing is, I guess I've been kind of sitting down for the last several hours, and I've had opportunity to plan, and then so literally not less than 15-20 minutes ago, I start because I normally, when you guys listen to the fanboy, not fanboy, when you listen to the 5x5 late night show, I'm just talking about, I might have a couple things that I want to talk about, but I normally, I'm just kind of going off the cuff with some things that are in my head, and I'm just kind of talking about what's going on in my life or whatever, or things that are on the news that are just about, or somebody, anything that that comes up, and then on the Real Talk with David and Nikki show, there's normally like interviews, and Nikki and I used to do it together a while back on, and we're still on iHeartRadio, so you can still check us out there, and you could always, and a lot of the stuff, hopefully between tonight and Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, everything will be completely put on the blog, so you guys can visually see what I'm talking about tonight. Now, I think I'm going to do a YouTube video at some point. I have my personal YouTube stuff, and the stuff that you hear here on the 5x5, it goes to my personal account. You know how Spreaker pushes all your podcasts to YouTube, but then I have the Blurred HQ YouTube page, and that's why I normally do the YouTube videos, talk about comic books. If I'm actually doing a video, I haven't had time to do much in that respect. I do like unboxing, HeroClix stuff, and stuff like that. Anyhow, but I haven't had much time to do it because I've been really busy. And this week has been no exception. And guys, I haven't had a weekend off in. It has to be more than a year. The last time I was off, on a weekend with Saturday and Sunday consecutively, my mother was in the hospital, and so So knock on wood, that hasn't happened. But I haven't had a weekend off, and so I forgot, how you act. Even though I had things planned to do this weekend, and I did them. Um, I like my days off in the middle of the week. because because I get to rest. Well, sometimes I get to rest. And this week, I think, um, and I said I'd do it, but I think I'm gonna renege because they want me to work some extra hours, and it's like 20 extra hours between Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't. I've had a long weekend, and I don't want to do it. But the only way thing is, I have WrestleMania. WWE is coming to town on the 27th. I have that, and then I need the following weekend off, well, the following Saturday off, which is May 3rd, which is Free Comic Book Day. And if you guys haven't heard the Free Comic Book Day interview with founder Joe Field, check it out. He had a lot of great things to say. It is fastly approaching us. We have less than we have less than a month. Less than a month. Free Comic Book Day. It's May 3rd. But if you look either on iHeartRadio under Real Talk with David and Nikki for the Joe Field interview from Free Comic Book Day, or here on Spreaker.com, or on the website, there's links to it. Check it out. There's a lot of things coming up this year. I'm getting more excited. I've been hearing a lot of stuff. The books that I'm probably going to go ahead and grab that I know about. If you go to freecomicbookday.com, you can see all the books that are be available this year. But we'll talk more about comic books later in the show. But The Future's End, which is the future JLA, Justice League of America story, which they're doing some Futures End stuff now, so I don't know how that's going to tie in. And also Guardians of the Galaxy. If you know Free Comic Book Day, they have a Facebook page, and there's a ton of stuff on their Facebook page, and they give away stuff all the time. I mean, all the time. And there's a lot of information, and they've been showcasing different comics from Free Comic Book Day coming up. So check out their Facebook page. Don't forget May 3rd, and don't forget to check out the interview with Joe Field, because it was really good. I enjoyed talking to him. He's a great fella, nice fella. Somebody who started this for you guys, for us guys, I guess, and gals. And it's worth taking a listen to. But like I said, it's been a really. I hope you guys are doing good. Hope all you fanboys and fangirls. There's been a ton of cons going on all over the place, and between now and September, I hope to at least go to 2 or 3 more in this area. There's a few in this area. There's one I may fly to. I haven't decided yet. But that's what I want to do. That's something I want to do, and get some traveling up under my belt. But here's the thing. When I tell you guys I work so much, I have all this vacation time. And the 2 days, like today and yesterday, that I took vacation time for, it doesn't even put a dent into my PTO time. So I'm like, but then, there's nobody I have that can work for me. So it's one of those things that I need to take it off, but I'm happy that I got this weekend off, because I got to do some things that I wanted to do. And my boy Ken Boggle is in the chat room. Hey boy. Yes, hey honey. Ken is so nice. I think if Ken and I lived closer together, we'd probably be going to lunch, having tea and crumpets. Is it tea and crumpets? Well, no, I'll go have a burger, and we'll let Ken have a Diet Coke. He's on Diet Coke rations right now. But somebody I'm very fond of is my friend Ken Boggle. He's definitely been a good friend to me, and I'm going to see Ken Boggle, hopefully, for Scarefest this year. We've been talking about it, and I think it'd be fun for me to drive over to Lexington and see what the boys are doing over there, because I want to do more traveling this year. I think I'm going to the Wizard World Con in Dayton or Columbus. I think it's Dayton. It's either Dayton or Columbus, and I want to meet a friend up there. I want to do Nashville because it's close, and Dragon Con in Atlanta. Here is a question for all you cosplayers. I am a man of a particular size, and I don't have a superhero build, and the thing is, I don't do cliche. So tweet me at the 5x5 and tell me what costume character I could be, I could pull off without having to do the cliche of the fat one. Like no blobs, no Fat Alberts, none of that, because I don't think that's hot. But what would I do? My niece, she's gonna do a fierce when we're going to Owensboro. It's called OMG Con. And I think she's going to do a play on Wonder Woman and Catwoman, I believe, or a Black Willow from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So who knows how that's going to turn out? But that's something that she wants to do, and she's just as nerdy as her uncle. And so if you have any suggestions, tweet me at the 5x5, and the 5s are numerical, and tell me what's a good one to do. If you have any ideas, what is a good one to do? But don't put a fat one out there because you might get cussed out. I'm just saying. Anyhow, and Kim said it's the 7th annual Scarefest in Lexington, Kentucky, and they do. So I think it's scarefest.com. They do have a website, so check that out if you guys get the opportunity. But again, like I said, thank you guys for joining me tonight. We're going to be talking about Captain America, the movie, and how it's done. It's done very well, and Thursday evening, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and today, the release is done very well. And Marvel, they're still killing it at the box office with their superhero offerings, and it's not even the summer blockbuster season yet. So we're going to talk about that. Talk about my comic book grab from Wednesday of this week. Didn't get a lot. It's on my blog, so I'll probably read it off my blog. Off the Blurred HQ, the blurredhq.blogspot.com. So check that out. And then we'll be talking about I can't even get my words together. There was a event this weekend. It's a con, the first ever for this area in southern Indiana, Evansville, and it was called PopCon. And I attended this weekend, and for it to be in a city of this size, it was really decent. Friday, it was for the VIPs, which I was rocking the VIP status, and then yesterday was general admission and VIP as well, and good turnout. It can only get better. There's some things that I didn't like. There's things I would have liked to see, but we'll talk about that on tonight's edition of Fanboy Weekly, and it's the Nerd Weekend edition. Thank you guys for listening. I'm David, and we'll be right back.
Like my red cape. Soup, super, super. Ooh. Can you please pour me a handle? Now hit the sirens. On the rocks.
Growing up, I was confused, like the cards up over my head. Confused, I tap my fingers and then wind up dead. My mom and dad, they wouldn't listen when I realized I'm a hero and I'm on a mission. Living that life, I'm considered a myth. Rockin' body sober after drinking a fifth. I'm topping man balloons and they're shaking the fist. Pulling bad guys over with the flick of my wrist. Till my rhyme's so hot, MCs are melting. 537 degrees Kelvin, that's 264 degrees Celsius. Don't ask me what the fuck the Fahrenheit equivalent is. But I need a superhero partner. Team up and battle crime like Crest Battle Starter. Now we fight crimes while we drop rhymes. Ladies form lines while we say what we say. Superheroes, every city has a real. Like the streets of Gotham City at Batman. We're on the call any time of day. Naked man, scientists aching like clay. Last line of defense to stop calamity. When it matters, we're like Holmes and Hannity. Doing that shit you only see in movies. Then rocking that after party with groupies. Yo, let me introduce the man who has my back in the pins. Bad karate skills, I'll slap the black off the ninjas. You ready?
Yeah.
I'ma pass this shit.
What? And it goes like this. Thursday night hit Rocky Balboa. Teeth gritting, bitch, tapping back door blower. Master of plays, I got a statue of bronze. You be rolling like Chachi, I'll be fucking like Bonds. No, Mrs. C, I wanna eat your pie. The MILF hunter tapped that action last night, cause I used Coors Light to get a bitch right. 6-pack later, I'll be laying some pipe. I'm really hard, but not made of steel. I asked Raver Riley if my boobies were real. Yeah, I dig that.
But to you, that's what he meant.
A master of big.
What's your base for jail?
Superheroes, every city has a real. Like the streets of Gotham City at Batman. We're on the call any time of day. We're making mad scientists aching like clay. Last line of defense to stop calamity. When it matters, we're like Holmes and Hannity. Doing that shit you only see in movies. And rocking that after party with groupies. Criminals be coming out at night like the Wolfman. I'ma make them right cause I am the solution. Cleaning up the town like there was pollution. Cause I know how to fight and I know kung fu. And heart of a lion and a dragon's too. And I got bare arms like the Constitution.
Superheroes, big boots.
Superheroes, every city has a real. Like the streets of Gotham City at Batman. We're on the call any time of day. We're making mad scientists aching like clay. Last line of defense to stop calamity. When it matters, we're like Holmes and Hannity. Doing that shit you only see in movies. And rocking that after party with groupies. Cause super cuties and superhero booties. And we don't disappoint when we hear the Call of Duty. You can't shoot me if you can't see me. You must be crazy like Gary Busey. So when the bass starts hitting your face, you better fly. Travel through time like Marty McFly. I'm a superhero. I fly in a shoe, hitting that dance floor in my bunker boots.
Mix it, bring it, now roll it over, baste it. Superheroes, yeah. Superheroes. Shift the king, shift the king.
Superheroes, every city has a real. Like the streets of Gotham City at Batman. We're on the call any time of day. We're making mad scientists aching like clay. Last line of defense to stop calamity. When it matters, we're like Holmes and Hannity. Doing that shit you only see in movies. And rocking that after party with groupies.
I know you guys get tired of hearing that song. I play it all the time. I'm sorry. I just happen to like it. And Ken Boggle loves it. So if Ken Boggle loves it, I'm going to continue to play it. And Ken, I hope I sound okay. My mic seems like it's doing something funny on the control panel. My computer's been acting kind of wonky this evening, but it's probably because of me. Welcome back. It is the 5x5 Fanboy Weekly Nerd Edition, or Nerd Weekend Edition. And I'm talking about my nerd weekend and shenanigans that actually started on Thursday evening. But anyhow, Ken Boggle seems to think that I should be the Lantern, Dr. Freeze, or Black James Bond, or Conway Stern from Archer. Who's Conway Stern from? Oh, from Archer. Archer. Oh, I don't really know that. I haven't really watched Archer. But actually, I like the Green Lantern. But see, with the Green Lantern, it had to be one. I'd have to be Kilowog, right? If you guys know who Kilowog, he's part of the Green Lantern Corps, and he's the big guy. That would be kind of hot to do, because this body is not ever going to get into tight spandex or whatever that's the skin tight stuff that people on. It's just not going to happen. Oh, he said I guess he's the Black Jew secret agent on Archer. Everybody tells me to watch Archer. My niece watches it, and I always hear people, why don't you watch Archer? Why don't you watch Archer? It's on Netflix, so, I don't know why I don't watch it. But also that just came on Netflix for all you people who missed the show, Young Justice is on Netflix right now. It's just the first season, but it's like, I don't know, like 27 episodes. So I don't know if, because they kind of had a hiccup and only had 6 episodes part of the season, then like 3. It was really weird. But it's definitely the first season of Young Justice, which I liked it a lot. So I've been watching that like before I go to bed at nighttime, because they're only like 24, 25 minutes or something like that. Yeah, everybody likes Archer, but I really haven't. The episodes that I've seen, they're hilarious, but I really haven't had the opportunity to sit down and watch, several episodes back to back to get into it. And I have a question for you guys. What is the deal with My Little Pony? I mean, seriously, My Little Pony is a rock star. I mean, a rock star, because it's more popular than I would think it would be. My Little Pony was My Little Pony back in the 80s when I was growing up, and then now it's kind of taken over the kind of pop culture. Is My Little Pony pushing Hello Kitty out the way for the little girls? Is it My Little Pony? I don't know. Somebody please tell me, because I'm confused. Okay, so Thursday night, you guys know, if you listen to the Fanboy Show Friday night, I went and seen Captain America: The Winter Soldier. So it was the sequel to the first Avenger. And like, if you guys know, it was totally amazing. I enjoyed it. There was tons of, well, not tons, but there's several Easter eggs throughout the show. And Easter eggs are scenes or a word or a picture or an object inside a movie that foreshadows or pays homage to a comic book, something in the series, something in the universe. If you remember Man of Steel, I believe it had the Goodyear balloons that had Wayne Enterprises on it. So it let you know that Bruce Wayne was in that universe, and now that we know Batman's going to be in the sequel, the Batman Superman movie. So that's what Easter eggs were, and I talked about that, guys. So listen to that podcast. And it was good, but what I want to talk about, what is done box office wise this weekend, and it's been no less than phenomenal. It says, and this is from Entertainment Weekly's website, it says, Captain America: The Winter Soldier is yet another piece of evidence that Marvel's formula for its behemoth superhero film franchise is exactly what audiences want. The sequel to the 2011 original, starring Chris Evans as the Super Soldier, grossed an estimated $96.2 million this opening weekend, setting a record for the best April opening and earning an A cinema score from its audiences. Its opening is all the more impressive when you consider that while it falls beneath the Avengers and Iron Man 3, which to me, Iron Man 3 wasn't all that great. It was okay, but it wasn't all that great. And 2, it outranks many of the standalone Marvel character debuts, including both Thor films and the original Captain America, which it outgrossed by 48%. And it nabbed an additional $110 million from audiences overseas. Isn't that crazy? Crazy, right? And while it's not surprising that more men than women showed up to watch the latest episode from Marvel's team of superheroes, more couples were in the audience than families, with the majority of the audience being between 18 and 49. God, that I'm so closer to the 40. I'm more close to the 49 than I am to the 18. That's kind of depressing. That came from the Entertainment Weekly, and then from the box office website. It also talks about it debuts it to 96.2 million in North America, and this says, continuing Marvel and Disney's inviolable winning streak, Captain America: The Winter Soldier is making history at the global box office, debuting to a record 96.2 million in North America for an early worldwide total. This is worldwide, $303.3 million. Can y'all believe that? Can I get, a honey That's all I need. I just need Benny or somebody. In only 10 days overseas, the sequel has already taken in $207.1 million, eclipsing the entire foreign run of Captain America: The First Avenger, which was $193.9 million. Domestically, Captain America 2 scored the top April opening of all time. The film has a strong shot of surpassing the entire global gross of the first Avenger, which is $370 million by the end of next weekend. So you think about the entire run of the first movie in just a weekend, 2 weekends for this movie. It's pretty astounding. So it's pretty interesting that this movie is doing so well, but it's a good movie, and it also, and I told you guys the other day how it tied into Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't know how it's all going to work out, but it will, because now that there's spoiler, since there's no S.H.I.E.L.D. anymore after the Hydra infestation, where, and then Agent Sitwell is killed in the movie, but right now, well, I guess I don't know if it's coming on this Tuesday. It might be next Tuesday, but I think it's this Tuesday. Agent Sitwell is still on the television show, so I guess the timeline is a little off. But so then we're going to find out who on the team are in the Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show, who is part of Hydra. So that's going to be interesting. But they're probably going to wait until all this stuff is out before they bring the show back, I think. But then I've seen something that's like this Tuesday, so I don't know. So it should be interesting. Let's see. Let's see. Thanks to a strong launch of Captain America 2, which essentially kicks off the summer box office month early, revenue was up 22% year over year, while Disney crossed the 1 billion mark globally in terms of 2014 ticket sales. So they're telling you it's good. So you guys, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's absolutely phenomenal. Oh, Ken Tweedy says Scarefest fan. The 5x5K Scarefest a shout out and may attend with me this year. And then he linked to the page in Patty Starr, where she is a guest at Scarefest. Let's see. Well, we talked about that, so let's take another little quick break, and we'll be back, and then I'm going to talk about, let's go ahead and do it. We'll talk about PopCon and the comic book convention. It's the 5x5 Fanboy Weekly. I'm David. Thank you guys for listening. We'll be right back.
Here we go. Embrace the taste.
Setting your sights high, nothing can pull you down. Oh, what's in your mind's eye has taken
equation until I understood that it all resides within my mental state and my physical grasp. It's one moment at a time, or you can say one task. Now if I have any questions, I don't need to ask, because the spirit is deep and the mind is vast.
No, I'm not gonna wait for this rain to dissipate. No time to waste. Life's too short not to taste and then embrace this moment. No matter what it takes, no matter what it takes, let your love.
I like that song. That is really groovy. That's Embrace the Taste, featuring Snowflake by Alex Baroza. Remember Snowflake when I played that song all Christmas long called Peace? That's who's singing that song, if you guys didn't know. Welcome back. It's the 5x5 Fanboy Weekly, and it is the Nerd Weekend edition, starring moi. If you go to the PopCon Facebook page, there's a picture of me in the audience. Although I'll get to that. Although you really couldn't see, I knew it was me, but you really couldn't see my face or anything because it was dark. But anyhow, thank you guys for joining me. I just crack myself up for it. I don't really know why, because sometimes I'm not really all that funny. My nephew doesn't think I'm that funny. Although he came over today, he wanted to hang out with his cool uncle. It's so funny how kids are. They're so sneaky. I love my nephew. And so he was texting me early this morning before I even got up. I had to get up and get some things ready for my mother's birthday dinner today. And he's texting me about something he wanted to do today. And I'm like, boy, nobody's getting into all that today. You need to relax. This has been a long weekend. And so he had an attitude. So when he came over, sometimes you had to check these kids. That's what's wrong with some of these kids out here. They don't get checked enough. And I'm like, well, you don't get an attitude with me, And but because I've had my hand in raising both my niece and my nephew. If they get too jazzy, they'll lose some teeth, right? I'm grown. Show me respect. But for the longest time, my niece is my niece. That's my world, right? To kick off my Nerd Weekend, my niece, and it's on I'll put it on the Fanboy Weekly page, but on the blog, she gave me the cutest Wonder Woman. You guys know how I felt about Wonder Woman. It's my opening theme song here, right? She gave me the cutest Lego Wonder Woman keychain. It is so cute. Now I lose stuff, so hopefully I won't lose it. And it's so fun and so cute. And she got it. She gave it to me, and it kicked off right before we went to the. Kind of kicked off my comic book convention though, and she just gave it to me. She's like, I got this for you, Uncle David. I'm like, oh, that's so sweet. She and we think so much alike. It's so funny. We think so much alike. All day yesterday while they were with me, her and I. Is it her and I? Or she and I? It's just she and I, we were saying the same things back and forth. We were not even repeating. We were saying the same things, the same thing. Cause we think a lot alike, or I just have influenced her a lot. I don't know what that is, but she gave me that. It's really, really cool. So if you look on the blurredhq.blogspot.com or the 5x5.blogspot.com, you'll see that picture and many others to come. I had my HD camera with me yesterday, and the video, for some reason, my computer is no longer reading movie files for some reason. I don't know. I don't know why that is. The pictures come out fine, and you can view the pictures on the computer, but once here's the thing. I can't pull them into a Windows Media file because there's a plugin or extension missing. And so I had to automatically put them to YouTube, make it private, edit it on YouTube, which I don't like doing all that because it's online and I'd rather do it offline than upload the finished product, but it's not working that way, so it's irritating me. So I don't know, the videos might not come. I did some on my phone, and Well, you'll see if you see it one way or another. It'll be on there this week, hopefully. Um, and early, I made a little faux pas. I said that Patty Starr was a guest at Scarefest, but she is the creator of Scarefest. Ken Bogwin informed me that she was a creator. So I'm sorry, Patty Starr. Hopefully, I get to meet you, and I can say I'm sorry in person. But Ken says no need to be embarrassed. I told him I was embarrassed. She doesn't get caught up in all that. And he says, she and I. Thank you. I had figured it out. I wasn't sure. Yeah, because her and I was sound kind of ghetto, but she and I, thank you. I hope she would lug me. I said lug me. I hope she'll lug me. I hope she'll love me. I'm a nice person for the most part. I do have my issues, right? Like everybody else. Ooh, Ken Boggle, I would love to go as Black Panther, but have you seen what Black Panther wears? Does nobody want to see a Black Panther and nobody will be pointing? And, I ain't gonna go there, but Black Panther, I need something that wears a box or something because maybe I can do a play on it or do my interpretation of that hero. Maybe jeans, a coat. I'll probably go as Nick Fury. Since I'm bald, I have the goatee. I'm not cutting my beard. Have the goatee. I can go as Nick Fury. That would be hot. Boy, Ken says everyone wants to see a proud black man wearing it right. Boy, I can wear a potato sack and still be a proud black man. Catch it. Anyhow, so if you listen to the second part of my Captain America review, you know that like I said before we went to break, I went to Pop Culture Comic Book Convention this past weekend here in Southern Indiana, the first for this series. And I have to give an applause to, I think his name was Jeff. I can't think of his name right now. Jeff. That's rude. Jeff Osborne. I think his name is Jeff Osborne. I know his wife. Me and his wife went to school together, so I got to see her. But I think he was the promoter for the event, kind of the organizer behind it, and they did a good job. First time out the gate, they did a good job. We had some celebrities. We had Big Tiny from The Walking Dead, I think season 2, Theodis Crane, UFC fighter, Misha Tate, and Mike Rotella, which he did some of the costume and makeup and monster designs on Cabin in the Woods. He also, which I was in a panel with Mikey Rotella, he's kind of cute, right? Wait till you see the picture. If you haven't seen my Facebook page, it is definitely on the Facebook page for the 5x5, facebook.com/the 5x5, completely spelled out. And there's a picture of Mikey and I. It was one of the perks of being a VIP. You get 3 photo opportunities with the celebrities, and I got one with him and Misha Tate. It's spelled Maisha, but it is Misha. And she did retweet me today. So Misha, I didn't get to spend a lot of time talking or whatever. The times that I went that you weren't there, and then the night before you hadn't arrived yet. But she's cute. She's a cute girl. She was really, really nice. And I had a friend on Facebook seeing the picture. He's like, I bet, he said she'll give you so many left, she'll beg for a right. I said I didn't want to try it. But she was really, she was thinner than I thought. I always think of Gina Serrano. But this girl can play Wonder Woman. Y'all need to call her, get rid of Gal Gadot, and during the Mike Rotella panel, we talked about that. He also worked on part of Feora's suit in Man of Steel, so that was kind of interesting. I want to play a clip here in a minute or two, how he was talking about, and this is something I didn't know, and I kind of geeked out about what the actual Mike Myers. Is it Mike Myers? Yeah, Michael Myers mask, what it actually was from the movie Halloween. You're not going to believe this, but I'll play that in a second. So we get there on, hey, Josh Peterson. How you doing? Welcome to the chat room. And so we get there to the comic book convention, and like I said, I went Friday night and checked out, but then there was more people there on Saturday, and so we're walking around, and you just buy you don't buy a lot of stuff at first. At least that's how I see it. You walk around and kind of see what people are selling, because on Friday night, the guy, his name is Tony Stark, believe that, who owns a comic book. He sells comic books, but he doesn't. It's not in the store here locally. It's Comics in a Flash, and he had a ton of comic books priced anywhere from $1 all the way up to the higher end stuff. So we got some stuff from him. And he's also he has a comic pressing service. He's an Overstreet advisor. And he's a CGC authorized dealer. And you can go to his website at www.comicsinaflash.com. Check out his information there. He also used to write an article for, I think, the Overstreet Pricing Guide. Thanks, Josh Peterson. I appreciate that. Did you find, was it my personal page or the 5x5 page or the Blurred HQ page? Let me know which one you seen. Did you like it? Did you click the like button? I got 2 of these for some reason. But check that out. That was Comics in Flash. So I got, what did I get for him? I bought an Adventures comic 80-page giant starring Wonder Woman, The Power of Shazam, Superboy, and Green Arrow. I haven't read it yet, but it's a number 1. I got it a good price. Cover price was $4.95, but I got it for a good price from October 1998. And here's the thing: a lot of people, they want to buy comic books for investment purposes or see how much they're going to be worth. That's not necessarily, sometimes you want to read it because it's your favorite superhero or your favorite, that kind of fantasy escape that you want to get. Oh, very cool. Thanks, Josh, for checking it out. I appreciate that. And then I also got a JLA, in which it wasn't because of anything in particular. It was because the cover was really, really cool. It's kind of the JLA that you see in the what's it, Justice League Unlimited now Council television cartoon, but it has the Martian Manhunter, Wonder Woman, I think it's the Kyle Rayner, Green Lantern, Superman, Batman, The Flash, and remember Plastic Man? Remember the Plastic Man show back in the, I want to say it had to be late 80s. Yeah, it was in the 80s. The Plastic Man hour, and it was kind of mixed with something else, maybe Rubik's Cube or something like that. But the Plastic Man, I always liked Plastic Man. That was a good, funny little kids, superhero show. I actually enjoyed that. You know what? I'm gonna look for those. But that's what I got. Oh, I got that, and then my niece, being the great niece that she is. And I also bought Fathom #1. Last year they was I don't know if they're reinventing or reintroducing the Fathom comic book, because it's been around for a while. They had one at Free Comic Book Day. I don't think they're doing one this year, and it was originally priced at $5, but I got a good price on it as well. Haven't read it, but I'm gonna check it out. Haven't had time to read any of this stuff. And then my wonderful niece, I dropped some stuff. She purchased from him for me 3 Wonder Woman comic books. Wonder Woman 189, Wonder Woman #1 from 2006. The Wonder Woman 189 is from 2003, and then Wonder Woman Gallery, which shows all the incarnations of how she's looked in the comic books, and still always my favorite Wonder Woman artist will be George Perez. I would love to get him on the show, but he's highly sought after, I'm sure. But I would love to be at a con where he's at, and I would pay the money for him to sign something of mine. That would be awesome. So I got that from all those from Comic in a Flash. So that's probably where I got the most of my comic books, was from Comic in a Flash. Sorry, guys. At the con, and then I ran into. You're looking at all the different stuff, and I did have it pulled up really good, because I want everybody that I liked at the con. I wanted to give some props to, because if I bought something, I mean I liked you. And here's my thing, and this is there was a theme for both Friday and Saturday. And this is anywhere that I go when I'm shopping. I don't care if it's a flea market. I don't care if it's this con, or a supermarket, or a retail store, or the retail store, like the Macy's and places. If you're not going to engage me in conversation, not that you have to. I worked in sales for many years. And again, and I've said this on my show 1,000 times, not just the Fanboy Weekly show, but on my other shows, you have to engage your customers. If you've paid to be at a place to sell stuff, you're starting in the negative. So to me, it would behoove you to engage your customers and talk. And there was a lot of people that were really, really good at that were very engaging, caught your eye. And they had something to say, brought you over, brought you into the conversation, talked to you, and I like talking to people. I like to joke. I like to play around, and that's how you get my trust. And that's how you earn a customer's trust, by being engaging, by being polite, by being suggestive in the selling process, and being assertive on what you're trying to accomplish when you're selling. And so, some people didn't engage me. So if I was looking at something that they were selling, and if you're sitting there and you're reading a book or on your tablet, and I know this was an event, you're seeing a lot of people, what we used to call looky-loos in the furniture business, looking around. You never know that when that one person has $100 in his pocket, ready to buy something just because of the event. And so there were several tables that they were totally not engaging. And that's why all your stuff was on your table at 8 o'clock when I left, And anyhow, it was called Crypto's Comics. And it was the first time in my life that I used somebody's, they had a little credit card swipey thing on their it was an iPhone, and I wasn't, me, I don't trust that kind of stuff. You ain't gonna try to get my number or nothing, but I'm sure it was all legit. Because it texts you your receipt instantly. Oh, and I have that, so maybe it'll be a little bit better on there, because I couldn't. I seen it on. Oh, I see where my niece texted me earlier. Let me see. Hold on one second, guys. I want to find it so I won't be talking crazy. Why do I not see it? Oh, there it is. Crypto's Comics. Go to their Facebook page instead of their website, because they always have a store, and they was there. They were very engaging. Some of their stuff was kind of pricey, but I did score, and this was kind of my big score of the con. I got a Walking Dead 10th Anniversary Edition #1 comic book. It has Rick Grimes on the front, and it's signed by Tony Moore. And Tony Moore is the co-creator of The Walking Dead, so I thought that was pretty cool, that I got to check them out. Hey, Grandpa Al. Grandpa Al and Josh Peterson is in the chat room, kind of listening to all my nerdiness. Ken Bogle says he got arrested once for engaging my customers in public. Well, not that kind of engaging. He said I was suggestively and aggressively selling, and the Arkansas State Police did not like it. Well, Ken, how you doing, Grandpa Al? I haven't seen you in a while. And the temp is up. Yeah, the weather has finally turned the corner here in southern Indiana. It was cool-ish this weekend, but it was enough for a short sleeves. But tomorrow, this week is supposed to be really, really warm. So hopefully we will. Hey, Slayer 4x4, what's up, Slayer? And and Jonathan. It's people that I've never see you guys. Hey, and Jonathan, welcome guys to the chat room. What's up? Glad to have you here. I'm just giving my nerdy weekend some airtime tonight. So I got The Walking Dead #1. That was from that Cryptos comic, so check them out as well. And then also my cousin, he's an artist, so if you go to Baileybot, BAILEYBOT .DA.portfolio.com, DAPORTFOLIO.com. You can check out his phenomenal artwork. If you look at the 5x5, oh, thank Josh. Thank you guys. Very cool. Not much, just me nerding out on the weekend. He did, if you look at the 5x5 icon, he did the artwork for that, and he told me he was going to do some more. I'm like, you did enough, because he's busy. He's been commissioned for this great comic book that he just finished, so I can't wait. He's going to teach my nephew how to draw better, so he's a good guy. He's a family member. Check him out at the Baileybot. And also, his girlfriend, she has a website called, and it's all on Facebook, called The Absurd Nerd. And if you go to www.facebook.com/The Absurd Nerd, and she makes all of her fanboy stuff or her comic book stuff and all this nerdy stuff. And she's at, if you go to etsy.com/shop/Absurd Nerd Creations, you can see everything that Miss Tina makes. And I bought a really cool key fob from her that because it was Captain America. I asked her, could she make me a Phoenix one, so she's gonna think about it, but I got an inside connection, so I'll be able to check her out as well. I think that, well, while we're speaking of, like I said, I spoke to Mikey Rotella, and he was telling everybody, the panel, how the Michael Myers mask became the Michael Myers mask. So hopefully it's going to be loud enough for you guys so you can hear it, and listen to how, you guys may not know how the Halloween mask Michael Myers came to be and what it is. So listen in. Here's a quick clip from that.
Deal, So he came out with a lot of the Universal monster masks, in the 60s, all the stuff that, like, Wolfman, Dracula, all that stuff, Frankenstein. And he's pretty much the guy. Like, he's the history of mask making, pretty much. And Don Post, they approached, Don Post Studios, they're just making Halloween masks. Every once in a while, they'd get, approached by some studio to make something for a movie, though. And John Carpenter's like, I don't have a lot of money, can you guys make me a mask? And I want something, to be creepy. He didn't know what he wanted to do. So they had William Shatner masks, licensed Star Trek masks of all the characters, right? They also had all the licensing for Star Wars. So they literally took Wookiee hair and stuck it on a unpainted William Shatner mask, and that is what Michael Myers is.
Beautiful.
They just cut the eyes out. That's all it is.
Now. Makes sense. Yeah, that's awesome.
It's hilarious, and you can tell the hair's kind of like you don't know what's going on with that hair because it's Wookiee hair from like the actual mask. So you have Star Wars, Star Trek, and you get Michael Myers.
A pretty authentic mask. You could make your own fairly.
You really could, yeah. I would love to get my hands on one of those old school, original William Shatner masks, like before it even became.
My uncle was like he grew up in the '60s, and he had all the like rubber masks and shit up in that old Mad and comic books and stuff like that. And he had the Mago figures, all that, but he didn't really have any of those masks other than he had this creepy gorilla mask. And I used to be horribly afraid of it. Yeah. And they told me as a child that they threw it in the garbage and threw it away. I found it years later up in the attic, still like.
I love that stuff. That's history there, man.
Yeah.
So many people have like masks that go back to like 60s and 70s.
I've seen all the old memorabilia and stuff out there. Like that's the kind of shit he has just sitting up in his attic.
Oh yeah, it's pretty sweet.
These kid's lucky. He's gonna get to play a lot of crap. Like,
I wish I could remember the name of the guy. His name is David something. I can't remember his name. I met him though. He's the guy that actually he made the Michael Myers mask.
The original?
And he was just some dude at Don Post. They were just like, go do this. It's for some stupid movie. You know what I mean? And it became Halloween. You know what I mean? It's like, wow.
But it's like, okay, throw some Wookiee here. I'll give him this.
Yeah. That shit's scary. It is scary.
It is. Yeah.
It totally worked. It's crazy.
So you said that Thriller inspired you
Yeah, Thriller was huge.
Is that Michael Jackson I see on your arm?
Yeah, that's Michael Jackson.
Okay,
Thriller.
I just wanted to make sure.
That's why. That kind of started the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because after that, I was like, how to do monsters. That's it. Pretty sweet.
Yeah.
What's everybody? I want to hear everyone's favorite horror movies before we go.
Jeez.
I
already told you.
A movie that genuinely scares me, or a movie that I just.
Your favorite horror movie?
Wait.
Your horror movie. Like, if I say horror movie, what are you going to say?
Blair Witch Project.
Blair Witch is actually pretty cool. I like Blair Witch.
Everyone talks crap about it. It scares me. Like,
It's scary. It does the
You don't
found
know.
footage thing. See, now found footage is like,
Yeah.
everybody does found footage, and it
Roll it out,
sucks.
like-
But that movie was like one of the first ones to actually
and the
nail
cold,
it. You know what I
cold
mean?
marketing around it in terms of like, it is real footage.
It was smart, yeah.
It's so good.
It was smart. It scared the hell out of me. But Cannibal Holocaust was like the first.
I still haven't seen it yet. I've heard tales of it.
Now that was Mikey Rotella. Like I was telling the guys in the chat room, he worked on, like I said earlier, he worked on Feora's. I think the not the headpiece, but the main suit. He worked on that, and he did a lot of work on Cabin in the Woods and a lot of other movies that he said that were kind of horrible. And then you know what he said? He said that Josh Whedon is really, really cool. He liked Josh Whedon. Something else. Oh, he said that what's his name? Ryan Reynolds. He said Ryan Reynolds is like 6'4". Who knew? And then there was somebody that was really, really, really short. He was talking about, and he said we wouldn't believe how short they were. They were like 5'4". But a lot of those Hollywood actors are really, really small. I met Ludacris when I lived in Atlanta. He had a restaurant there, and I happened to be eating there one night at a friend's birthday party. And he walked up to our table, and he was tiny. Ludacris is tiny, and I mean he might be 5'7". 5'8" maybe. So a lot of those, he said, that's how they shoot. A lot of these people, because a lot of people were talking about how they don't think Gal Gadot will make a good Wonder Woman. That discussion has been kind of going around since she was announced as going to be the Wonder Woman for the new Justice League movie, and they said, well, they'll shoot her in the way that she's going to look really muscular. She's going to look really tall and really good. He said, probably not going to be nothing to worry about. They said, but she's done some good stuff. So he gave it. He said, Ben Affleck's going to be really good. And he said then he was talking about who was the jerks in Hollywood. Oh, maybe I shouldn't say it. I don't want to get him in trouble. I won't say it, but he said there's a lot of jerks. People from House of Cards and on Netflix. And he loves what he does, and he was started by watching Thriller, and he's close to my age. He's in his 30s, and that's how he became making these whole the monsters, and he has a lot of great artwork. So if you look up or Google Mikey Rotella, and I'll have some pictures of his stuff on on the website at the blurredhq.blogspot.com and the 5x5.blogspot.com. So let's talk to him. And then a really cool guy that I met. I didn't buy anything because I'm not really into the toys unless they're like Hero Clicks, and that's like a game. He makes custom and commissioned, and if you guys don't know what commissioned art is, I know some people do. If they have an idea, they go to an artist and they'll pay them. Jonathan says they have a lot of short actors stand on boxes they call apple crates. His name is Matthew Wardwell. Really, really nice young man. If you go to the Terrific Customs Facebook page, you can see some of the stuff that he makes. Either he just making them or as commission artwork. And like I said, the commission artwork is somebody has something they want to see envisioned through this artist's eyes, and they commission him to make it for them. But he was really, really nice. He's originally from I think he said London, but he was a really, really nice guy. So check him out. Terrific Custom Toys. That was Matthew Wardwell. And then one guy that he said they also dig in the ground for other actors to look shorter. Yeah, this is everything that Mikey Rotella was saying, that you'd be surprised at the magic of Hollywood to make all these people look like they're of similar size and stature, or if they're supposed to be really small, like the Hobbits, how that all is shot. Another guy that I met, Corey Brown, was really, really cool. I couldn't get him to come down off of. He does commission artwork. He also does variant covers for different comic book companies, and this particular one was a Wonder Woman number 18 that had, remember Ren and Stimpy, that had Stimpy as Wonder Woman digging in his nose on the front cover, and I wanted it because it was a Wonder Woman book. He was in the Wonder Woman outfit, and I wanted it, but it was $30. And that's another thing. These kinds of the stuff can be so expensive. This could been a $300-400 event for me if I bought everything that I wanted. It was $50 to get in for VIP, and so I'm gonna email him in a week or so and ask him, does he have it cheaper? But I didn't buy anything from him. I think my niece or somebody bought a picture from him, but I didn't buy anything because I couldn't drop $30 for a Wonder Woman comic book. Sometimes you just can't, and I wanted it, but he was really, really nice. His website is www.cbgraphics.com. I'm assuming the CB stands for Corey Brown, so that's cbgraphics, grafix.com, and that will take you right to his Facebook page. What else did I see? There's a local, I don't know, these places that have all the like they sell used books and used DVDs and music. Well, there is a nice one. There's two in town. Sometimes the employees aren't too nice, but I met the owners yesterday and they were phenomenal. She gave me and this was on Friday, the person I was with, she gave us a free $5 gift certificates to go to the store. You don't have to spend anything, and she'd have to do that. But then she told me she has places all over, and they were really, really nice. So that's the Book and Music Exchange. So if you live in Owensboro, Henderson, Evansville, or Louisville, you can go. They have a lot of used stuff. Some stores have more comic books than others. They do dabble in comic books. I bought a comic from them. I don't know which one, but I did buy one from them. I don't see it, but I bought a comic book from them. I bought the Fathom from them. That's where I got that. Really, really nice people. So check them out. And then another person, like I said, who was engaging, very engaging, was a young lady from Mayday Film Festival, and it's a lot of independent film creators that are going to have a film festival on May 23rd to the 24th. www.maydayfilmfestival.com. They're going to be doing that on May 23rd and 24th. But check them out. So I just want to give the people that was really engaging and nice to me a little shout out, because it's tough times and everybody needs a little pick me up, and all their information will be on my website as well. And then one more person that I met the other day, and they have a podcast. They have a podcast on Podbeans, is Thought Bubbles. They're on Twitter @_Thought Bubbles. Tell them the 5x5 sent you. Follow them. Their podcast, and I think I have it right here. Maybe. Oh, I did have it. I'll find it here in a second. They were really nice. They made these really, really cool coasters. And here's the thing about cons. If you see it, sometimes you want to walk around to see if somebody's selling something similar cheaper, but if you see it, you might want to buy it. They have these really cool Marvel that he made. All these artists are really, really cool. He made these coasters, and he made them out of comic books, and it was really, really cool. And I said, well, I'm going to come back later. When I went back later, they had all sold out, and they were a decent price, and I was so stupid, so I'll probably order something online from them, but I need to find their stuff. And he's a big Doctor Who fan, so my niece went completely crazy because she loves, my niece and my nephew both, they both love Doctor Who, and they bought stuff for them. And then we kind of talked about podcasts. I told them what my podcast was, so if you guys are listening tonight, thanks. They favored a tweet earlier, but it's @_thought bubbles with the S, and you can find their podcast on Podbean. And like, again, they were very engaging, very nice. They might have thought I was a little crazy because I kept on talking to them, but they were really, really nice, and I enjoyed talking to them. Their podcast is Thought Bubbles, BUBBLES .podbean.com, and they go to all the cons, and so give them a like, give them a listen, give them a follow, because I like what they talk about. They love Walking Dead. We didn't talk much Walking Dead when I was talking with them the other day, but check them out. And then lastly, and I'm going to have an interview with her probably either this week or next week. It was a really nice lady from the 501st Legion .com. That's 501st.com. And they do all the Stormtrooper Star Wars stuff, and I do have pictures. I'll have pictures because my nephew has a little Stormtrooper hoodie. And her name was Shannon, and she was one of the officers, and she was probably the nicest one out of all of everybody who was, like I said, again, I can't say it enough, that was very engaging and wanted to be there and was proud of what she was doing and embraced, her nerd. If you remember last Sunday, I spoke about Will Wheaton, and I played that clip of him talking about, why it's okay to be a nerd. And it's, because we love differently. We love what we love harder, and it's more about a learning thing and getting inside of it to love every part of whatever your nerd may be. And so that she kind of represented that to me, because when I first spoke to her and I said, hey, I have a podcast, I would love to interview you, and she's like, of course. And I wanted to do it at the con, but the Mikey Rotella panel lasted too long, and so we were leaving to go get lunch, and she see me, she thought I was leaving, she's like, hey David, she remembered my name, so that's very, very important to me. So but they were cool, they took pictures with my nephew, so that made him really, really happy, and very, very cool. But anytime you see a whole bunch of Stormtroopers or any of the characters from any of the Star Wars films, it's probably part of the 501st Legion, because they're all over. They do Dragon Con, and at Dragon Con they have 100 stormtroopers walking through the parade. It's crazy. It's something to see. If you've never seen it, it's something to see. But her name is Shannon. I'm going to get with her, so I expect an interview from her, talking about what she loves, which is they're the world's definitive Imperial costuming organization. So we'll be talking to her in the weeks to come. And so that's my last shout out. I think it is. Jonathan says his sister is retired now, but she used to be a makeup artist. Special effects were her favorite too. Yeah, I envy those people, because I don't have any artistic ability at all. I have a lot of creative ideas, but when it comes from thinking about it to transitioning to go about how making it, I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. And Ken says last year he spent over $500 at Scarefest in 2.5 days. He said he bought everything. It's easy to do. I could have easily spent, anywhere on the low end from $300 to $500 easy with everything that I seen that I wanted. But hey, I don't got it like that. My pockets aren't that deep, so I had to be very frugal. And is frugal the right word? I had to watch my pockets. That's what I'm saying. And Jonathan said he loved nerds. I love nerds too. I used to be a nerd in the closet. I didn't want anybody to know that I liked geeky stuff, and but hey, I'm old enough, and even now, sometimes it's kind of funny because I'll put it on my Facebook page, and they're like, "We didn't know David was into all that," but hey, it's my life for one, and hey, you like what you like, you love what you love, and I think it makes it, valid, and it's viable. It was obviously viable because now with all the superhero, Jonathan said he has Superman PJs. Superman PJs rock. I used to have Star Trek PJs a long time ago, but I did have some. I wanted to make a shirt. I ran out of time because if you guys don't know, I'm the worst procrastinator in the world. I mean, the absolute worst procrastinator in the world. And I was going to make a shirt because I wanted to make something for the PopCon event, and I just ran out of time. And I'm like, because you can go to Hobby Lobby or Michael's or something. You can buy that spray-on T-shirt paint, and I was going to cut out a stencil and do it, but I ran out of time. So the next one, I'll have something made. Try my hand out. I'm not creative. I probably had to pay somebody to do it for me because I can't do it. But I'm gonna try. I'm gonna give myself one try. But it was fun. It was a great weekend. I get to do a lot of things the thing that I love to, and be around like-minded individuals. They did have a costume contest. I still need to see if I won the raffle. I did pay to get in the raffle for some stuff, so I don't know if I won or not. Hopefully I did. I normally don't win anything, but there was things that they could have done better. I will say this, and I'm not going to say his name. There was a vendor, not even a vendor, a guest there that was showcasing his replica of the Dark Knight Batmobile tumbler. And when I tell you, this person you could feel when you walked over to him, the temperature dropped like 20 degrees. He was cold. He was not engaging at all. And maybe he was feeling bad. I'm sure he was paid to be there. I don't know if he volunteered it. But it was, I just got bad vibe from him, and every time, my nephew was with me. My nephew he loves cars and stuff like that, and he wanted, but the guy he never moved. He just kind of looked at us blankly, and it was very weird. And I was like, "Wow, really, dude? You're here, and you're one of the featured guests, and you're not being really." He was not approachable to me. Now there was people over there, trying to take pictures and doing stuff, but he never once moved. He sat. I remember one time he was sitting there eating his lunch, and people were all walking around, and he just was kind of staring out into space, like, I wish this was. I could hear him say, "I wish this was over. I wish this was over." Then why did you go through that? You made this car to be a replica of the Batmobile thing, but you wasn't very approachable, and I kind of felt sorry for him because every time that I seen him, and then like by mid yesterday, there was nobody going to his area, and he was at the front. There was nobody going over there, and not pay because I'm thinking you're turning everybody off, fella, So to the organizer of PopCon, don't invite him back. Get somebody else because. For me, my experience with him, he wasn't very kind. He wasn't very nice, and I thought he wanted to be anywhere else but there. Oh, Darth Vader says he eats nerds for breakfast. Okay, milk or silk? I don't know. Slide rules are great. If you can keep her hands off, she always wants to know. Ooh, I can't read that out loud. You know what? Grandpa Al, you're absolutely hilarious. I mean, Grandpa Al, isn't he the funniest, everybody? Grandpa Al is absolutely hilarious. They're talking about I could turn into a nerd at a moment's notice. Then my wife asked me why I'm using calculus to find. Can't say that. You guys are hilarious. So that was a vendor that a guest that I didn't like. I didn't get to talk to Theodis Klein. I talked to him more on Friday night. Now, Theodis Crane was Big Tiny in The Walking Dead. He was killed, but he was on the show, and he says it was a great environment to work in. He says even some of the actors, when he said when he seen Andrew Lincoln, I think last year somewhere, he said it was just like there was no time had passed. Very, very nice. And he lives in New Orleans now, and he's tall. I see why they call him Big Tiny, because, I'm right at 6 foot, and he was like a foot taller than me. He was a big dude. Very, very nice. He was very cool. Everybody, The Walking Dead is kind of a phenomenon. But you know what? There's some people that got killed off the show. I don't know if they're salty about it. He said they don't watch it anymore. They don't watch the show. They were on, I think, either Watch What Happens Live or something. Somebody was on there from The Walking Dead, and they weren't too enthused about what was going. They didn't know what was going on the show because they don't watch it anymore after they got killed off. That seems a little shallow, but hey, I guess you didn't have a job after you got killed. So anyway, so he was there, and then I got a picture with UFC champion Miesha Tate. Now, she was very, very nice. She was very cute. I talked about it earlier, so I got a picture, and she had her fist put up. And so the picture's on the 5x5 page as well, but it'll be on the blog eventually. She was cool. I didn't get to talk to her a lot, but she was there. And then a ton of artists and things. So, but I came out relatively cheap. I didn't go too crazy with the money, but it was a good nerd weekend. I had a lot of fun. Probably there's a con in Owensboro, June 13th, 14th, and 15th. So we're planning to go over there. That's like 45 minutes from where I live. So we'll probably just go on Saturday and stay Sunday, and then come home Sunday evening. So we'll do that. Maybe take mom and make it a whole nerd family weekend. But we're going to take one more break, and I'm going to come back, talk about my comic book grab from Wednesday, what's coming up in comic books this week, and we'll wrap things up. Thank you guys for listening. I'm David. It's the 5x5 Fanboy Weekly. We'll be right back.
Chasing money in a man-made car. Do you ever think about it? Don't you think it's bizarre? Yeah, and the Milky Way floating around in the stars. It's like who, what, when, where, why am I? And all this time we've been just a speck in the sky. It's like a cosmic joke that can make you laugh. Your whole existence is the sum of the cosmic math. Well, if you woke up this morning, then it's a good day. If you woke up healthy, it's a good day. If you woke up refreshed, then it's a good day. So get up, get out, get on your way. If you woke up broke, it's still a good day. If you woke up diseased, it's still a good day. If you woke up exhausted, still a good day, because you woke up, so get on your way. Now if you have some today, then give some away, cause what you give will come back on another day. Not in the same form, and just so you know, what you reap is what you will eventually sow. Like if you rise to the top, you'll have to come back down to find your feet firmly planted back on the ground. And if you live by the gun, you might die by one, because it only takes one shot to blot out the sun. Now if you woke up this morning, it's a good day. If you woke up healthy, it's a good day. If you woke up refreshed, then it's a good day. So get up, get out, get on your way. If you woke up broke, it's still a good day. And if you woke up diseased, it's still a good day. And if you woke up exhausted, still a good day, because you woke up, so get on your way. Now when the lights go out for good, how will you turn them back on? Did you create yourself in a physical form? Did you breathe the breath of life into your lungs and make your heart beat since before you were one? Did you take 2 cells and make them 4, then turn 4 into 8 and make 8 million more? Did you realize one day that you were alive and forget that one day you would eventually die? Well, if you
like that song. That's another by Alex Baroza featuring Donnie Ozone. Welcome back. It's the 5x5 Fanboy Weekly Nerd Weekend edition. Thank you, Jonathan, for coming by. Thank you for checking out the show. Hope you come back. I do Fanboy Weekly every Sunday night, normally a little bit later because I normally work on Sunday nights because they're normally around 12:30 to 1 o'clock. That's when I normally do them. Josh Peterson, thank you for inviting people to the show. Darth Vader, was it Darth Vader that came in? And sometimes when on Spreaker, when you're trying to scroll up, it won't let you. Ken Boggle's been here all night. Grandpa Owl's in the chat room. Jay Peterson. I missed a name. Hold on, guys. Jay Peterson. Grandpa Owl. Oh, Slayer 454, thank you for coming by as well. If you guys have a show, check out their shows. Click on their little icon. Oh, you have to do. Well, you can do it. I think can you click on it? Yeah. Click on their shows and check them out on here. I know Jonathan. I think I seen where Jonathan had a show. So I'm following Slayer 454. And following Jonathan as well. Night Slayer, thanks for coming by, man. Hold on, I'm reading instead of clicking follow. All right. So, every Wednesday, and if you look on the blog, you can see it there. I grab my comic books that I want for the week, which is getting so expensive. See, this week has been a expensive nerd week. I'm telling you. But one series that I'm going to continue to read, I have the Magneto #1. I actually watched. They've showed all the Marvel movies today on FX. I watched Captain America, the first one, and right after that they had Ghost Rider 2, which I had never seen, and also before that it was X-Men First Class. So I watched those today. But the Magneto series is getting pretty good. I was on the fence about it, and I wanted the #1 because it's a Magneto #1, and I wanted to see how it was going to turn out. The story is pretty engaging. He looks more like Professor X now because Magneto is bald, but he's still on the hunt to find out who's killing mutants. The premise for Magneto's part in the Marvel universe. He's still trying to mutant rights and his people as being a child in the internment camps. That's big for him. And Michael Fassbender did a good job, and I forgot how good he was in the X-Men First Class, but he's also going to be in the Days of Future Past. But #2 was out last week. Good story, kind of brutal. There's some grisly scenes where he shoots a whole bunch of nails through everybody. So it's kind of gruesome, but hey, knock it out, Magneto. That's what you do. And then one that I had been waiting for was the Inhuman, Inhuman #1, and the Inhuman storyline that took place after Infinity with Black Bolt. The king of the Inhumans, that he never talks because his voice can shatter stuff. Well, he exploded a bomb, and it contained the Terrigen Mist. And I didn't know this because I never followed the Inhuman storyline. The Inhumans, the reason why they have their power is because they have a certain type of DNA where this Terrigen, which is the Terrigen Mist, activated the DNA in their system to give them these inhuman powers. And so there's more than the Inhumans that we have been reading about. There's another faction, I guess you would say, in the world, which we see in this Inhuman #1, and they when then Terrigen Bond was released, you know the Miss Marvel I've been talking about, not the Carol Danvers Miss Marvel, who they say is going to be in Avengers: Age of Ultron. So we'll see if it's going to be Ms. Marvel or is this going to be Carol Danvers or one of her various superpowered incarnations. But sorry, I had a cough. So the whole premise of this story is all this. Oh, and Joe Madureira, he's part of this Inhuman #1. But so the Terrigen Mist that activated the new Miss Marvel's powers. She's part of the lineage, I guess. She has the DNA of Inhumans because there's Inhumans that have mixed with regular humans, so their children are grandchildren, great grandchildren. If they still have the DNA, it's a chance that the Terrigen Mist will activate their inhuman powers. So one character who will probably be the focus of the series, his name is Dante. He gets the power of fire, and then there's somebody who's in this faction that's trying to kill him, and then Medusa, who's the bride of Black Bolt and the queen of the Inhumans. She saves them, and she tells them, there's a war coming between us and them. You need to make a choice. So I'm gonna grab #2 of that next month to see how that plays out. And lastly, I only got 3 things. Bye, Darth Vader. He said good night, nerds. The last thing I got Wednesday is Angel and Faith #1, season 10. I get the variant copy by Sam. Oh, I can't. I had it's in the blog. I wrote about it. It's a variant copy with Faith on the cover. It's a #1, and it's the story about Angel in London after there's a lot of bombs going off in these comic books where part of London has been transformed by magic, and it's all magic. They call it Magic City, Magic Town, and Faith is on her way to help Buffy. And then you get the thing is, you remember I got Buffy #1 a few weeks ago. They use some of the same panels, so I guess the same artists are involved in making the Angel and Faith as the new Buffy #1. And these books have been very good for Dark Horse. I was talking to my niece tonight. I gave her some of my Buffy novels to read. And I told her that the series is still going on in the comic books. But so there's the ones. There's Inhuman 1, Angel and Faith #1, and Magneto #2. Check those out on your at your local comic book store. And things that I'm going to get this week that seem interesting, and whether sometimes I'll stay with a series, sometimes I don't. I can't kick myself for not getting the Daredevil #1. I hear it's really, really good, but if I can find a copy, I will. But Nightcrawler from the X-Men is getting his own book. There's a lot of #1s in the Marvel universe. Iron Fist, remember Power Man and Iron Fist? He's getting his #1, so those are 2 I'm going to pick up. I think Superman Wonder Woman #7 should be out, so we will learn Diana and Kal-El's fate in the nuclear reactor. And there's not much else from Marvel next week that I'll be grabbing, but except for somebody they did Flash Gordon over for some reason, but I will be getting Nightcrawler and Iron Fist #1. There is a Secret Avengers that has Agent Coulson on it, and I might grab it just to see what's going on. And also Batman Eternal #1. Now there's more that I'm gonna pick up than I'm saying, and the all new Ultimate. So next week or this coming week, I'm probably gonna spend about $50 in comic books just to see if I'm gonna like something, because some of the series that I grabbed, like the Captain Marvel, which was the old Miss Marvel, I'm not gonna get that anymore because I don't like it. Here's the thing. The guy that I was talking about earlier that had all the comic books at PopCon this weekend, he only deals in like older stuff. He don't deal in new stuff. But a lot of times, here's my thing is, have an opportunity to learn stuff. Just because you want to be the authority doesn't necessarily make you the authority. And even though he was cool, he was okay, and I bought stuff from him. I asked him about this book from Archie Comics called Afterlife with Archie. And Afterlife with Archie is kind of a spin on The Walking Dead in the Archie universe. There's Jughead, there's Betty, there's Veronica, there's Archie, there's Kevin Keller now, the first gay comic book character to have his own series, made by Dan Parent. But he was like, I've never heard of that. Now, this guy probably had at least 5,000 comic books at this show. And I asked him, I said, do you happen to have, this, and this? And they're relatively new, but it's taken off so well. The number one, which had to be released either 4 or 8 months ago, depending on how often it's released, it's like crazy expensive now on eBay. Afterlife with Archie number one. There's a ton of variants. This book has taken off very, very quickly, and people are grabbing it and they're reading it. And I'm waiting for the Dan Parent, Kevin Keller, the Equalizer. Kevin Keller, like the gay character I was telling you about, he's going to be a superhero. So that's coming out. So I got to get that when it comes out. So so I won't miss it and then end up having to pay a lot of money for it. But anyhow, so when I was asking him, he was like asking me questions like I didn't know what I was talking about. He's like, well, I heard with Life with Archie, but he's like, you mean Jughead's dead? I'm like, yeah, he's dead. He's a zombie now. So I don't think he really believed me, but I'm sure once he went and looked it up, he knew I was telling the truth. He needed to get some because they're very collectible right now. Very, very hot comics. That series is going to be. What else is there? So those are the things I'm going to pick up this week. I hope you guys... Who's anonymous? We gave you a follow and a like, and I'll listen to your I'll have to go. I'll listen to it, because I can still pull it up. I'll leave the page up on here, anonymous. But what else? Is Ken Boggle still awake? Did I put Ken Boggle to sleep? I hope I didn't. I made the fudge be with you. What's Fukushima? Somebody enlighten me. I don't know what Fukushima is. Chemtrail report. Let's see. They're talking about something in the chat room that I don't have any knowledge of. And I want to check it out while I'm on the show to see what this is all about. Chemtrail report. Is that... Okay, I think somebody's ready to enlighten me. Is that when you see these planes in the sky and they're leaving all this white clouds? I've been hearing that's why, like, when it snows and stuff, the snow doesn't melt, it burns. Is that part of that? I don't know too much about it. I've heard some different things, but I don't know too much about what that all kind of well, I would definitely check it out. I put it up, anonymous. Fukushima, Our World Threat, anonymous. I will definitely check that out because I'm actually interested in that because I've read about it, but I didn't know exactly what was going on. Yeah. That's that. I've heard that. So he's a Fukushima is the new. I knew. Okay. Disaster in Japan. Our governments are covering up the truth. Radiation is falling in America when it rains and snows. Is that still the thing when they said the snow doesn't melt? It burn. I mean, it burns instead of melts when you try to burn it with fire because there's so many chemicals in our atmosphere. Anyhow, I'll have to do some research. But thanks for sharing that information, guys. I appreciate that. Let's see. Lastly, I don't know if I have a lastly. I do appreciate you guys checking me out, listening tonight. So if you have a con in your area, check them out. Support your local artists. If you have local comic book artists, you can go to any comic book store, and most of the time, especially on Free Comic Book Day, which is coming May 3rd, you'll see a lot of them drawing and buy their stuff, buy their local comic books. It's rough for independent artists to do his own thing and still be profitable and love what you do. I'm sure only a small percentage of these artists are really, really big time, like with the big four publishers. And it's a niche market, so it's even more difficult. So if you go to a con, buy something. If you just buy something from one person, check them out, because it's worth it in the long run, because you're helping them out and you're being exposed and you're exposing others to a different genre that you might not have known anything about. Thank you guys for listening. It is David. We're going to sign off here from the 5x5. This is Fanboy Weekly. Have a great week, and we will see you next time. Good night.